What's the problem?
Someone changed the
Oh,
temperature
you
of
know,
78.
I mean, they came in 103 lots. That's the whole development. Okay, that's the master.
Back down.
And they had it broken down in 3 phases. No problem. Then they came back.
Okay, we are now live streaming.
Put it 1A, 1B. And it's because you go in the main road and it was like 28 lots to the east, and then the remainder of the 58.
Yeah, I don't think we can.
That's
What do you
okay.
mean?
Constructability makes sense to me. Everything to the east done first. Main thing move west. No problem.
I don't think we can endorse Netflix on that.
Oh, they got to do all 58 before they do the 23. So the 23 is part of the 58. It's just where they start and where they finish.
Oh, my clicker's doing this? On the live stream.
No,
Yes,
if they walk
please.
away from the 23, well, that's on
If it
them.
works, yeah, we'd like to do it.
I mean, it's a map cover that's filed, right?
No,
Oh,
no, no, it doesn't. It's a private-
You gotta hook it up to your USB and to the HDMI drive.
Yeah. That was the other argument. They wanted it. When they came in and the approvals, they were getting sewer tap and water tap fees. The village says, well, they got 103 units. I said, no, you got one tap for the site. Maybe if they got in the paper 103. I was just like, I was a scratch.
HDMI.
Everything besides private road. Park owner pays the property tax. Well, he sells the units, yeah, and then rents the unit, or rents the license.
Cindy, could you help them out?
Starting price. Units, 300,000.
Thank you.
Gorgeous units, then if you got a couple models out of them, gorgeous units. Get the chance for the village. You understand, you get to a tax assessed value.
Thank you.
These are the
Unit. I said, you know, I said, 300,000 times 100 units. It's a pretty big number. You know, that's what the tax rate is, but it's not costing you a dime. No service.
Thank you.
got an extra, no chemicals, I brought two. You're welcome.
I have electrolytes in here. So.
Okay, I got 6 o'clock, so we're gonna get rolling. My pop doesn't go far. Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the work session for the Lancaster Town Board for May 18th, 2026. This evening, during our work session, we're going to have 3 presentations. Our first presentation this evening is going to be from Charles Trottier from Dreschler and Malecki. Charles is going to talk to us about the recent audit that we just had, financial audit here in the town of Lancaster. So Charles, whenever you're ready to roll, go right ahead. Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, thank you. Good evening. Again, my name's Charles. I'm with Drescher Malecki. We're the auditors for the town of Lancaster. I'm director on the engagement. Amy Barker, who's actually a resident of Lancaster, was the manager overseeing the day-to-day work here at the town. But this serves as our exit presentation to go over the audit as it relates to the year ended 12/31/2025. So of course, we're 5 months past those numbers, but it certainly gives you a good look into what to anticipate in the future as well. So we are in draft form. We're still waiting on one actuarial report that comes from one of your actuaries that gives out numbers on your other post-employment benefit obligations. So it's not a number that affects your day-to-day general fund and fund balance, but it's a number that still goes in your what's called government-wide financial statements that incorporates long-term assets and liabilities. So we still have valid numbers to present these numbers here tonight. As soon as we get that number, we'll spin it around and we'll be in a position to issue the financial statements. The drafts, as they stand, have been sent to management here for their review, and it's going through our quality control review process where another partner that's not involved in the engagement puts his set of eyes to make sure we haven't missed anything. So really, going through the presentation here, the products of our audit, basic financial statements themselves. In that draft report that you're going to be getting once final, there's two opinions that belong to us. One at the front of the financial statement on the numbers themselves. Can they be relied upon? Can the outside users rely on the numbers and the disclosures that are in there? And based on my opinion, the answer is yes. So you're getting a clean, unmodified opinion, meaning that the financial statements, the amounts that are shown, that shows your financial position and the results of operation is fairly stated. It's free of material misstatement based on our testing. Then it goes through financial statement themselves, it goes through footnote disclosures, it goes through additional schedules, and then in the back of the financial statements, you're going to see another opinion on government auditing standards, which requires us as auditors to look at your internal controls, your policies and procedures. Are you abiding by how you're supposed to reconcile your banks, your journal entries, your payment methods, procedures? Are you abiding by those? And general municipal law, obviously. And the answer, based on our opinion again, is yes. We do testing of controls, and we believe that your procedures are free of material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. So a clean audit all around. The management letter would be used, is issued every now and then if there's best practices that we recommend. Over the last few years, we've been pretty proactive in listing some management letter comments. And in the past, we've also had significant deficiencies and material weaknesses. With this administration, we've seen some proactivity in making sure that what's been identified in our audit is being addressed for future years. So we are not issuing a management letter this year. There's nothing that came to our attention that we believe merit significant improvements in the way you operate your general ledger. Auditor communications letter, that's a required letter that we send that communicates what the audit really is all about. If there's anything unique in this year's audit that merits the attention of your group overseeing the audit, we're going to talk about that on the next slide. And then departmental report. We do test a few departments here at Town Lancaster, Justice, Clerk, Receiver, RAC, Senior Center, Youth. And so we test cash receipts, we test cash disbursement, we test the way they reconcile their banks. Usually it's in their own name. As far as Justice, Clerk, and Receiver. And if there were to be any discrepancies there, we'd also have to modify our opinion, but we are issuing an unmodified clean opinion on the cash basis of accounting, money in, money out. We don't record accruals, receivables, or payables as they relate to departments. So this auditor communications letter, really what's required to communicate with your group here. Our responsibility under generally accepted auditing standards is really to provide that opinion. We use what's called reasonable assurance as opposed to absolute assurance to get to our opinion. What that means is that reasonable assurance is we look at your risk, we assess risk based on your controls, based on turnover, OSC opinions, we assess risk based on new policies and procedures, and of course our testing of controls. Based on our risk assessment, we develop our materiality threshold, and then we select samples of certain population, and then we extrapolate our sample on the overall population to determine is this account balance free of material misstatement. So reasonable assurance, that's how we select samples as opposed to selecting obviously every transaction. Our responsibility is not to find fraud. We do have tests that are designed to find fraud if fraud were to exist at a pretty significant level. When we do test journal entries, we will test entries that hit miscellaneous revenue accounts, expenditure accounts. If revenues are debited instead of the usual credit, we'll investigate that. Credits to cash, we'll investigate that. And then we'll go around departments and ask if they're aware of any susceptibility of fraud. Because if they are, typically they communicate it. But nothing came to our attention. But it's not our responsibility to find fraud if it existed. Significant accounting policies, nothing's new this year, so all the significant accounting policies are described in Note 1 to your financial statements when you get them. Nothing has changed, so what you've received in the past is the same thing that you're going to get this year. There's no new GASB, Governmental Accounting Standards Board pronouncements that came out that would change the way these financials look. Significant accounting estimates, we just have to disclose them because the uniqueness of how testing those estimates vary from your typical transaction where we can just look at an invoice or look at a reconciliation. Estimates, we have to rely on third parties or your assumptions that are done internally. So your estimates are comp absences, health insurance, workers' comp, your other post-employment benefits that we're waiting on the actuary for, your net pension liability that comes from the state, and your length of service awards program. liability that's also compiled by actuary. We look at the census data that the town compiles and sends out to these actuaries, make sure it's valid, and then we look at the rates that the actuaries use to make sure it's fair compared to see the New York State trends. And we believe that your estimates are fair and accurate. Independence, the only way that your financial statements can be relied upon by outside users is for us as an audit firm, us as people, myself, Amy, anyone on the engagement, or anyone in our firm being independent of Town Lancaster, and we are. And then other matters, if there were to be any disagreements with management, if there were to be any journal entries that management didn't want to correct, if we asked to look at a certain sample and we were told no, look at another one instead, we'd have to disclose it under that section of the auditor communication letter. There were no such instances. So full and open access to the books and records, full cooperation. What we requested, we've received across all departments. Going through some graphs here. The very first one that we talk about is just, it brings in total governmental revenues and expenditures, total activity of the town. We have a little asterisk at the bottom that it's going to include the payments to the self-insurance fund, and we'll talk about those a lot this year because in 2025 there were some pretty significant costs in the self-insurance program. But it excludes capital projects fund activity as a one-time source that we want to get out of this operational view. So 2021 to 2024, we see revenues exceeding expenditures, meaning you're generating fund balance across all your funds, not just general fund, but we talk about highway fund, police fund, and others. So at the end of 2025, total revenues were $41.8 million. Total expenditures across the town were $41.5 million. So it's $300,000 difference in fund balance. When you look at your government as a whole, to be off by $300,000 is pretty remarkable. And we look at the year before, 2024, $42.2 million revenues, $42.2 million in expenditures, right on the dime. That's what your taxpayers want to see. They want to see that you're raising just enough revenues to meet the operations that you obviously budget for. And so we as a firm are not into financial projections, but we've been worried about what we call the ARPA cliff, meaning when the pandemic ended, federal relief money was no longer going to be there. Interest earnings at some point are going to start to come down. Sales tax has been remarkable for years. At some point it's going to stabilize a little bit. So we've been worried in 2024 and 2025 that red line, your expenditures, were going to come on top of your revenues. And we wanted to see some smoothing because most other municipalities have crossed that line. So it's good to see costs being controlled there, revenues, controlling those costs to keep up with your expenditures over here. General fund, once we isolate that fund here, we look the 5-year trend. More ups and downs, again, pandemic years 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 was your last year of recognizing some of the ARPA revenues. So that's where you saw that increase in fund balance in those 4 years, which is good. That's what we tell when we deal with instances of a lot of variability, a pandemic, obviously. It's good to save money when you can to plan for the future when it resumes normal operations. So general fund, you did see that red line, your expenditures cross your revenues. Again, the gap between your expenditures and your revenues for 2025, expenditures were $12.5 million, revenues were $11.8 million. That's a $700,000 use of fund balance for this given year, compared to $13.6 million of revenues and $12.3 million of expenditures last year, which generated 1.3. So just highlights in revenues. Revenues did decrease $1.8 million from 2024, your blue line. Federal revenue, ARPA and FEMA, went down $1.4 million from the prior year. Again, last year was the last year to recognize that pandemic relief money. So $1.4 million decrease there. And then Opera House and other grants, state grants, went down and decreased $300,000 from the prior year. That explains the drop in revenues. We did note that the mortgage tax revenue from New York State did go up $130,000 again in 2025. So although you see revenues going down, you see mortgage tax continue to be high. Certainly one to keep an eye on. I think the town has been fortunate to see not just town of Lancaster, but obviously it's dependent on some of the construction happening. But mortgage tax has been significantly high across New York State, and specifically in town of Lancaster. Certainly one to keep an eye on as far as a revenue source in the future. We hope to keep it again, but we don't want to see that revenue line continue to go down, which is always the fear. Expenditures did increase $200,000 from the prior year, from $12.3 to $12.5 million. Transfers went down $500,000, which again, when you have gaps where one-time revenues, unstable years, you're recognizing federal aid, sales tax, interest earnings, you want to use that to fund one-time projects, which is what you've done in the past, to fund capital projects, another item. We expected transfers to go down, that's what happened. So transfers went down $500,000. The remaining expenditures went up $700,000 across functions, all the functions. So that $200,000 increase net in expenditures, that's about a 5% increase from the prior year. So at a time where we've seen inflationary cost pressures and trends in New York State, where we tell our municipalities, hey, it's pretty normal to anticipate 6, 7, 8% increase in expenditures. To stay at 5.5% is pretty stable, considering. And we talked about self-insurance, and we're going to continue to talk about it, but self-insurance went up a lot, unfortunately. Employee benefits in general across the state went up significantly, and retirement costs jumped up a ton, obviously having a big impact on general fund and other funds budgets. Police fund expenditures were $13.9 million. Revenues were $13.56 million, so $350,000 use of fund balance in the police fund. Again, the expenditure line did go up over the revenue line. It's not a bad thing. If the state were to come in, the state's going to see that they're going to look at this trend, and that's what they want to see. They want to see years where your revenues exceed your expenditures, and they want to see years where your expenditures exceed your revenues without faulting too much, staying as close as you can to the straight line. So that's what you're seeing here. Revenues increased $43,000. Really just transfers in. State and federal aid decreased $340,000. Sales tax, again, helped police fund with another $400,000 increase in sales tax. When we met with the supervisor as far as an exit meeting, I think one to keep an eye on in the future, is the agreement with the village. Sales taxes, or I'm sorry, police is 60% dependent on sales tax across its own collection and the village agreement. So certainly something to keep an eye on in the future. I mean, I believe the town collected $1.3 million from the village in 2025 as far as sales tax. So it's one that obviously you want to look at for future purposes. Expenditures did go up $650,000. That's about 4.5% increase from the prior year. All pretty much transfers to the self-insurance fund, health insurance going up. So definitely took a hit there. Hopefully it's just a one-time use, and I know that there's been changes in the self-insurance program, so one that we'll certainly like to monitor for 2026. And then the last one we talk about is your highway fund. Ups and downs across those 5 years here. Highway funds and all the transportation funds, when we meet with municipalities, very dependent on equipment needs. Usually they cycle every 2 or 3 years depending on where your equipment needs are. But here at the end of 2025, your expenditures were $5.4 million, your revenues were $5.2. That's a $200 decrease in fund balance. Expenditures did go down $100,000, but they continued to stay relatively high. Continued investment in the vehicles, and again, retirement costs definitely hit the highway fund this year. Revenues went up $475,000. That's an increase in property tax that was partially offset with interest earnings. As expenditures continue to outweigh revenues, you're using some of that cash. As you use some of the cash and interest rates go down, interest earnings did go down as far as the allocation to the highway fund here. There's one point, so last 3 years, I just marked down 2023, fund balance was used by $100,000. 2024, the highway fund used $800,000. 2025, highway fund used $200,000, so $1.1 million of fund balance used over 3 years. You're left with $1.3 million in fund balance. That's about 24% of your spending, so it's still what we would call stable. I think when GFOA, Government Finance Officers Association, talks about best practices for town to maintain as far as available fund balance, they'll say 2 months worth of spending, that's 16, 17%. So yeah, one to keep an eye on, but you're still in a good position as far as your total spending for the year. That's what I have for numbers. Any questions, I'll welcome them now. My information is there, so is Amy, who's the manager. She just left on maternity leave over the weekend, or starting today. If you'd like any of the numbers in the presentation, I can also send those. But you'll have the financial statement soon enough. And again, reach out at any time during the year. We're always available. That's it.
Great. Any questions, board? No?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your time. Okay, for our department heads, as you can see, we don't have all the money in the world. So I know there's a lot of ask out there, but there's going to be several no's coming up in the next budget. I can tell you right now, because we want to make sure everything equals out and we're in good shape. Taking out of the funds, we kind of look at as deficit spending. We want to eliminate that, and we want to be fair to the taxpayers at the same time. So we've been doing good so far. Nick and I came up with a plan, and then it's been up to Nick to implement that plan, and he's done a terrific job for the last couple of years, and we're going to keep that going. We got some help in the office for some people doing the invoices and whatnot, but excellent job, Nick. Another clean audit. It's good. It's great. And we'll keep moving forward on that. I'm going to give you some more time in a little bit, but we're going to go through the groups of people who are here, and then we'll come back to the department heads. I don't see Ari anywhere. Oh, you're from his office?
Well, I'm from Catalyze.
Okay. Your attorney is not here?
Not yet, but I thought it was supposed to start at 6:30.
No, it starts at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
We have one starts at 6 o'clock, which is the second town board meeting of the month. The first town board meeting starts at 6:30. So we're going to skip over you for now. Hopefully we'll have time. I think we will, for him to talk when he gets here. Who's next up on our list? Hang on a second here. Jamie and Anthony. Les is 0. How you doing? What are you here to talk with us about this evening?
Well, problem going on for about 2 years now. I bought commercial property, I pay commercial taxes. Somehow or another, it got labeled as agricultural farmland with a residence, and everywhere in this town it is commercial. Again, I pay commercial taxes, went to court a number of times, and again, even the judge says, I don't understand what it is. The prosecutor doesn't understand what is being asked. We'd like to get this matter resolved today, please.
Okay. Are you here tonight to present a project you're doing on the land?
No project.
Okay. You are operating a business at 0 Cemetery and 69 Cemetery
69
Road?
Cemetery Road, is, property 0 is next to me in the fire hall, that empty lot.
Okay. This, again, you intend to submit a rezone of the parcels or site plan?
No,
Okay. This is not the appropriate time to be discussing this. You got time. If you're not going to put in for a rezone, you'd be entitled to a public hearing, and you can come at the end of any meeting after the resolutions and the communications are done to talk about anything you want to. This is supposed to be for planning, so that's basically what the time is here for. Again, appreciate you showing up, and you can talk after the resolutions and the communications are completed. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay, did you reach out to Ari to see if he's coming?
He's on his way.
Okay.
And I texted him that it started at 6, so I'm not sure if he's in the parking lot or, but he's on his way.
Okay. So we're going to jump to the department heads at this point in time. Nick, since we were talking finances, come on up, jump up here. Let us know what's going on with the finances.
Before we jump into Nick, Mr. Supervisor, I thought we discussed this during a work session previously, and that we were going to ask them to come in to talk to us so that we can have further information during a work session.
Okay, I sent you out an email about the appropriate way to handle this. This is not the appropriate way to handle it. They don't have a plan. Here's a copy of the resolution for what is done during this time period. There's been a resolution that was put in place, and it's for planning purposes, okay? For them to be planning something, they should be putting in for a rezone, have some type of a development, parcels that they're combining, anything like that. They'd be more than happy, they can come in here and tell us about their plan. But they do get time towards the end of the meeting to discuss what they want to discuss with the town board. This is for different purposes.
So I was off and didn't see that email.
Okay.
I had my away messages on. I'm not sure if you received that or not. And I'm assuming that nobody told them that ahead of time. Because you didn't reach out to them?
I didn't reach out to them because I didn't know they were coming, and you should know in the resolution what people are allowed to talk about at this time. I mean, it's
But we
pretty
talked
plain and
about it
simple.
as a group together, and it was suggested that they came to a work session.
I never agreed to that. I don't remember ever agreeing to that. And then I sent out an email, if you're out of town and don't check your emails, that's not on me.
I think that's a little bit ridiculous to expect somebody to check their emails when they're on vacation with their family.
Oh, I think pretty much everybody does check their emails. So,
Not me.
again,
I'm sorry. I
Okay,
absolutely believe in making sure that you have self-care time and that you take care of yourself.
Okay, well, we also have to run a town board meeting here, and it's by resolution the way this is done. So at this point, they can talk at the end of the meeting, any meeting they want to. If they file for a rezone, they'll have a public hearing on it. So again, they'll have another opportunity to talk about it. Now is not the appropriate time, and it's not appropriate for us to make a decision on a rezone for somebody who hasn't even filed for a rezone.
They weren't filing for a
inappropriate.
rezone because it was going to cost them, was it, Matt, what was it, about like $15,000 or somewhere around? It was well over probably $10,000.
Councilmember, we are done talking about this at this point. I'm in charge of giving you time to talk. You've had your time to talk. We're going to move on with the department heads.
Okay.
And they can talk again.
I
at the end
appreciate
of the
you cutting
meeting.
me off again.
Okay, thank you. Nick, you're up.
Well, I don't really have much to say. I mean, Charles really covered a lot of it. Just like I said last year, when we got our first clean audit opinion after the shambles that the finances were in after 2023. We're going to continue to get better each year. This audit definitely went a lot better than last year and the years prior, and I assume that the next year will be even better. That's all we can do is just continue to get better every year.
Great. Thank you very much. Matt, what do you got?
We just have some statistics from the last 2-week cycle, but it's really 6 working days within the town. Within your packets, information that were provided for your building permit approvals. With those were other items of discussion. We had 10 fire safety and property maintenance inspections. Again, this is in the last 6 days, 104 year to date. So again, the staff is nailing it with nothing, right? They're doing all this work without any other outside resources. We did receive 19 complaints in the last 6 days, 14 for the town, 5 in the village. We're at 291 year to date. You divide that by 5 months, that's a lot. And again, kudos to our code officials that are doing all these investigations, having those discussions, doing the mailings and trying to resolve these. And then on top of that, for this cycle, again, 6 days, 58 permits, 366 year to date in the first 5 months of the year. So again, volume is excessive, it's beyond busy, it's beyond extreme, but the staff is keeping up with it. On top of that, within the last couple of weeks, we had our on-site inspection after a court order from last Thursday evening regarding a specific property within our town. The inspection was completed, a report was provided to the board. Our attorney's office, Ed was involved in trying to draft some of the RFP standards so that we can get some appropriate quotations. In addition to that, 2 other buildings were identified and posted to not occupy for deplorable conditions inside the buildings. These are not things that we chased after ourselves. We were asked to accompany. One was the Erie County Health Department for an ongoing issue with a resident that needed some assistance. The second was through the DCO office. And again, there was a seizure that took place, deplorable conditions. Animals are animals. They can fend for themselves somewhat, but the humans occupying the building need some additional assistance that they need to address, right? So again, Kudos to the entire staff and everybody that, supports the building and zoning department and what we do. I understand that budgets are a topic of contention these days, but, we do have to enforce our local laws. We have to make sure that our buildings are safe and the people that live in them are safe, as well as the buildings that are being occupied by businesses and
Sure.
They have to be appropriate.
Absolutely.
Tall order.
And you sat down with the Director of Administration and Finance for the
Did.
2025 budget?
I did.
Correct? And you had your say during that time period?
I did,
Okay, and it was budgeted into your needs?
somewhat, in 25.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
We do the village as well.
Yes.
Okay? Do we need to start charging the village more for what you're doing for the village of Lancaster?
Now, they're actually paying for a full-time code official.
Okay. So, again, talk to Nick.
We will.
2026, we'll see what we can do coming up in 2026. You guys are doing a great job, so we appreciate it, and we'll see what we can do.
Are they down an official, code enforcement official, or are they just?
We were not provided the code official in 2025 as it was budgeted.
Well, what it was budgeted for was to make a supervisory code enforcement officer. Okay, we have not made a determination to do that at this point. Okay, for that would open up another, person for code enforcement.
Yeah.
We
Are they
haven't done
short
that.
from where they used to be, code enforcement officials? Like, did they lose somebody? Is that why it's so?
No, we were never appropriately staffed, and again, that's in my opinion, and perhaps the industry standard based on population and tax parcels.
Okay, so again, they haven't gone down what we thought we might be able to make a promotion there. It hasn't happened.
Yeah, just to get additional, if they're
Yeah,
getting
and that's
overwhelmed.
personnel stuff we can discuss.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just catching up.
Yep.
Matt, how many code enforcement officers do you have?
We have 3 assistant code officials, 1 part-time fire inspector, and myself.
Okay. Ed, what do you got?
What do I got? Siebert Road. Guide rails were going in today, seeding and topsoiling this week. Should be done.
Amen. When are they gonna have all the stuff out of there and you can just drive down the
As soon as I
road?
get a call, I'll get a hold of Highway to get the detour signs down and get the barriers out.
Okay, great.
Ribbon cutting, right, Ed?
Knock yourself out. Let's see, Walden Pond Turf, the building is to start first week of June. Bleachers are scheduled for mid-June. So the building, Parco tells us that they'll have the exterior done. So right now, we're just working on getting the slab for the bleachers completed. Opera House, the outdoor sign is done. We're finalizing the bid package for the stairs and sidewalk. That should be out sometime this month. Westwood Splash Pad, we've got all the quotes, and we've gone back and forth with, we got 3 quotes, and there were questions we had on all of them to get apples to apples. So I'm putting that together so that I can sit down with the committee so that there's at least some semblance to be able to compare apples to apples. There's pros and cons for each of them. We have a recommendation, but it's up to the committee to make a choice. And then the Kiza Park grant that just came in, working with Carmen, trying to put together a request for quotes on some of the work. And I've just got to coordinate with the county to make sure we meet their requirements for the grant for acquisition, procurement of services. So that's in the process. That's it.
Okay, thank you. John Trojanowski, what do you got?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I believe we finalized the use of the band shell this summer. We have a lot of nice things going on. It's going to be busy pretty much the whole summer. The high school Academy of Finance will be having their graduation ceremony on June 2nd, and I think the resolution's on tonight's agenda. 10 town band concerts on Tuesday night, 6 recreation band concerts on Wednesday nights. Shakespeare in the Park is coming on July 16th. The CKSO will be performing on the 27th. There's a children's band concert on July 30th. And the music room is planning on renting the band shell again the first weekend of August like they've done for several years. So a lot of nice music will be coming from the band shell this summer. We're pretty much tying up preparations for summer. Interviews are done. I know there are 2 more positions that we've asked for appointments today. On May 28th, we will be having our intergenerational program with the Senior Center. Looking forward to that. On June 6th, we'll be having the Color Run and Wellness Fair on the grounds of the Youth Bureau. And on June 10th, from 4:30 to 7 p.m., we will start our summer program registration.
Great. How many kids do you expect to participate in all the different programs?
Well, I'll tell you, we're already up to 80 kids that have registered for the summer theater camp. It's usually anywhere between 300 to 400. We have a new art instructor, so we'll see how that goes. But we usually have at least 100 kids that sign up for the art classes. So we're hoping over 400 kids this year.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. John Pilato?
How we doing?
Good.
I'm going to pass this out to you guys so you know our paving schedule. We're going. You're safe for a couple of years. We just got you done.
Yep.
Thank you.
So we've been busy sweeping the town, cleaning up brush with our grapplers and replacing DIs in all the areas we're going to be paving, and that's obviously going to start at the end of this month and paving into next month. We've had crews out daily tying in bubblers, and with the wet spring we've had, it's really not a surprise that drainage has been a focus. I've been getting with Matt quite a bit the past month, going over a lot of projects and stuff we got to get to at the end of the year. In addition to this, we've continued routine road maintenance and responded to various service calls throughout the town. Our team's been working very hard to stay ahead of the seasonal demands and our upcoming paving schedule. I just want to thank all our guys and everyone in that department because they're really busting it out and doing a good job. That's all I got.
Thank you. Carmen?
First off, I'd like to wish Tom a happy 50th. I'll be there in 3 weeks.
Coming up quick.
Yep. Just a couple things. Our grass is growing like crazy. If you get a call, we're on top of it, doing the entrances, retention ponds, our parks. We cut one day, the next day all the flowers are blooming, whatever, daisies. Walden ponds, we're getting ready to knock down the bleachers and the press box, which we're looking at today. We're getting quotes. Ed's going to help us with an RFP on getting a company out there to do a little roadway so we can get that going, so we can get everything done. We opened the pool cover. Pool is almost clean. Guys were working great on getting that all ready to get open. Ed's helping me with another RFP for the decking so we can get that going. Just so everyone knows, with the hot days, we did open up the splash pad today. It will be open today and tomorrow. Obviously, if it's above a certain temperature, the splash pad will be going so kids can use it. But we did get it up and going today, so we don't have to worry about people doing that.
The splash pad for a second. When do we plan on starting it? What?
Well, we just received the award letter, last week? So technically, we just received the official award letter that we can technically answer to now,
I
right?
just saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
I didn't
can.
see it. It's in-
Yeah, we have to call, I said, I'll be getting the quotes around everybody hopefully this week, and then we can sit down and pick one of the vendors, so that they can start.
There's a chance we can get a copy of that, or what they sent?
Yeah, I'm gonna send everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
'cause I
just
didn't
trying
see
to, I was trying to, like I said, it was apples and oranges, so I was trying to.
All right. Yeah, 'cause I didn't see anything that was coming
We all
in.
need to get together to discuss what we're gonna do with the flavor.
So, best case scenario, I mean, again, obviously, we want to get it in the summertime while it's warm out. Are we to make that?
It won't make it for this.
Yeah, no, I mean, your best time to do the construction would be September.
Okay.
Because school's back in session, so the park population will drop off a little bit. There won't be as many kids on the playground and everything else in that general vicinity.
Okay, so it'll be open next year.
Which would be
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
speaking of playground, they did put the stairs at Westwood Park. They just got to do the flooring, the rubber on the bottom, and that will be complete. So now 5-year-olds can actually get up to the tall slide, and people like me won't have to worry about my kid falling. I'd like to thank Cindy and Dawn for the grants that they're helping us get. We got 2 of them now, out of, I think, the 2 Cindy did for our department, you guys did?
We've been working on grants for the town since August.
Yeah, and I know we're working on a new one for a bike path and everything in the town, connecting the town. We're working on solar lighting for the bike path, Heritage Trail, see if we can get a grant being it's solar lighting, and I think that'd look pretty cool, the Heritage Trail being all lit up at night, because there's a lot of walkers.
Safety.
Our camera at Meadowley Park goes off from 4:30 in the morning, there's people walking their dogs and walking, all the way till 9, 10 o'clock at night, there's people constantly walking in them parks. And then there's 2 resolutions, one's for our summer kids, our summer help. We're getting busy. I mean, I know people are always looking. I don't think any department has enough staff, from the clerks to anywhere. I think we're all just scrambling, but we're making way. So I appreciate the support on that one. And the last one is for the carpet and the installation of carpeting at the court building. We sent the RFP. Ed helped me get the RFP out there, and again, this will not cost the town any of the work in the court building, will not cost the town 1 penny. It was between the our department doing the labor where we saved money. It was a grant that was done by Jillian, and then there was also our insurance money. And then once everything is done, our insurance policy is got an extra policy on it. We'll get another check from the insurance company for $3,500. So we should be really doing good.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Diane, anything?
We're continuing to collect town and county taxes. I know you're going to think it's almost June, but we collect till July, and there has not been a day that tax payments have not come in. So they've been coming in since the middle of January and continue to come. Not as much currently, but they still are coming in. And I'd like to thank, he's not here, but our DCO. We really see a big uptake in dog licenses and relicensing. So we just want to show our appreciation.
Great. Brad?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything from the police department since you just walked in? Come on up. Perfect timing.
All right, guys. I'm here on behalf of the administration today, and I have no report for you guys.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks. Ari, you ready to roll?
And just as a reminder, the first meeting of the month, we start at 6:30. The second meeting, to have more time, we start at 6 o'clock.
I did not know that. I apologize.
That's okay.
I'm just writing that down. Second meeting 6:30, first meeting 6.
First meeting, 6:30, the opposite way. First meeting, 6:30. Second meeting starts at 6 o'clock for the work session.
Understood. What time did Janet get here?
About 6:50.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Ari Goldberg from the law firm of Barclay Damon, representing AC Power 14. Earlier today, I made a letter submission with AC Power 14's response to each individual condition on the initial SUP approval of 2021 and then the first renewal approval of 2023. I do think most of our responses speak for themselves. What I wanted to, I know that a little short on time, perhaps for everyone to review it, so I wanted to just draw your attention to 2 of our responses in particular.
Okay.
The first is on SUP condition number 5, which is mirrored in SUP renewal condition number 4. That says that our objection notwithstanding, we have complied with the plain language of that condition as it's written. That condition asks that AC Power 14 supply information on the manufacture of the panels and showing where those panels were manufactured. Our exhibit, I believe it's exhibit number 4 to the submittal made today, provides all that information, and that was the same document submitted earlier this year to the town attorney's office. And I believe at the prior work session, you did have comments on that document, Mr. Supervisor. The second response I want to draw your attention to is original SUP condition number 6 and renewal condition number 5, asking for information about the ownership of AC Power 14. The information submitted in exhibit number 5, which is a June 2021 letter from Catalyze, still is accurate. AC Power 14 is a wholly owned subsidiary of Catalyze Holdings. So I think with that, I know that we've continued the dialogue on this project. I wanted to take any comments from the board or anything like that, and then Janet and I can continue to discuss with our team, and I'm sure we'll be back to discuss it with you as well.
Sure. The first thing is the importer of record for these importation of the solar panels is no longer allowed to import by the United States government because they did not cooperate with the Department of Commerce. There was a question of whether the panels were actually made in China as opposed to being made in Cambodia. Okay, so that is, the company is no longer allowed to bring anything in. I don't know if they're going to do anything about it. My belief is Homeland Security, it would be a difficult investigation to figure out how much was made in China and how much was made in Cambodia, but I have talked to the federal government on this. Chemicals.
Would you be able to provide, I have not seen that information. I think I'd love to have it.
I'm giving it to you orally. I don't know what I'm able to provide to you from actual names on there. But if you check, you can check online and you're going to see the Department of Commerce has listed them as no longer, did you bring that stuff?
No.
No, okay. We could get you a copy of.
That'd be excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the other thing that's a problem at this point in time is the chemicals that were found in the standing water close to the solar facility. The federal government is looking at that as well, and they're going to get back to us on that to make a determination, perhaps, where those chemicals came from.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't have, Ed, I know you sent me that report, and we had our engineers take a look too. You let me know if it's helpful to have a dialogue between Labella and Prismatic, whoever did that.
Paradigm.
Paradigm.
Yeah. I mean, the results kind of stand for themselves. I mean, if LaBelle's got a question, they can call me.
Okay.
But the results are the results. I don't know what they're going to say.
Exhibit 1 to the submission made earlier does have a Labella response.
Okay.
So I'll let that simmer. That was just
I haven't read the responses you
No, all good. I just submitted today, so I'll let that simmer, and maybe it would be helpful to have them chat soon. Labella is, I don't know if you want to call it the engineer of record, but they're working with both us and the DEC on that post-closure monitoring report.
Okay.
So I don't know if Paradigm's report was sent to the DEC.
It was.
Okay. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's happening, it's being brought up between Labella and DEC as well.
So we're waiting to hear back from the federal government as well as DEC, whether they're going to do anything with that and make a determination where the solar panels came from. Let me ask you a question while you're here. Who owns the solar panels? Do you guys own them?
The project company, AC Power
Project
14.
company? Okay, so they do own them. What was the conditions with the LIDA? Because it's a little, with LIDA, Lancaster Industrial Development Agency, there's some kind of lease back in there or something?
I was not involved in the IDA transaction, so I can't answer that.
But it's your understanding that Catalyze AC Power owns the solar panels?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, it was confusing, that stuff with the LIDA.
The document we provided at the previous work session had tracked the invoices from the chain of ownership through. It did include a document from the Department of Homeland Security showing Cambodia as the company, of where they were manufactured. And so that's showing that's accepted by the federal government, that they were imported in 2021. If the federal government has changed something since then, the panels were imported and, as documented as from Cambodia for the project. So.
And my understanding is.
Imported.
They brought that to my attention when I spoke to them, that the company itself is no longer allowed to import into the United States. So again, going back in time and redoing that whole thing, probably not going to happen, but I'm just bringing it to your attention as to my interest in this. Again, where those panels came from, it would take quite a bit of investigation. Each solar, whatever piece would have to be tested and see where it was actually made to say it was Chinese as opposed to Cambodian. And I don't think they're going to undertake that.
During the on-site inspection, was there any way, I don't know, Matt, or do we know, maybe Jen, you know as well, does the panel itself, a particular panel, have a marking or anything that could help us
I did
I'd
look
have
at
to go
the,
back.
I did look at the paperwork, and the particular model of the panel that was in the paperwork,
The ZN Shine.
the ZN Shine, and I went to the website of the manufacturer, and right on their paperwork, it said it's manufactured in China.
Well,
For
can you
that item
forward
number.
that to me, because the documents that I got from my procurement people tracking, I highlighted in the information that I sent, I highlighted the invoice number, and I highlighted it from, all the way through to the delivery to the site, so.
Yeah, I went to the ZN Shine website and looked up the item number that was
One thing I don't want to
noted on
lose
the-
track of is the plain language of
Customs
your
paperwork.
renewal condition says, give you the information. And that's what we've done. So what I want to know is, knowing that that information is in the hands of the town, the present renewal request, how are we forwarding that or just making progress on it? Because our objections notwithstanding to the conditions, we've complied with the plain language of the conditions. So at this point, we're looking for the renewal.
Because first off, if there's a problem with the panels themselves and what they're made of, which is again why I was very interested in where they're coming from, if they're using the chemicals that we found in the standing water there, that's a major problem. And the panels may, again, not my call, have to be replaced or something in the future. And we can't allow that to continue to operate that way. So it becomes a big deal. So once we get these questions answered, again, it's going to tell us a lot moving forward, whether we should move forward with this or not, or whether there's got to be a change made to the overall, depending upon how they were made, where those chemicals are coming from.
At this point-
We have to talk about it outside.
Yeah, well, I do think, look, we're on a landfill, so to the extent Paradigm is finding forever chemicals, it's going to be tough to determine the exact origination of those since we're on a landfill, and we've complied with the plain conditions, so we're looking for a renewal. And if you're going to revoke the SUP based on some of the conditions you've raised, then that's the town's prerogative. But I think at this point, we're looking for progress on the renewal, which has been pending for over a year.
Okay, well, yeah, there is progress right now. They are
yeah.
They are testing that.
Continuing the progress.
And the chemicals that were found aren't generally found in a landfill. It's not the same thing. And the timing of when that landfill was capped and the type of chemicals that are involved here, it's my understanding of they probably wouldn't have been part of what was capped. That's a whole, that's a whole nother.
An analysis to that? I just saw the testing results, and then you had to send me with it.
Based on what the parameters are, they didn't exist back when that landfill was taken away.
Okay.
Right, so
And
it's
has
something
DEC
new.
made that same comment, or just the town?
DEC has not made that comment. That's why we're waiting to see if the DEC wants to tell us anything at all, or if the federal government wants to make that determination.
Okay.
And again, so we'll move forward once we find out. Because again, if they're bad panels, and I'm not saying they are, not saying they aren't, but if they are and need to be replaced, they'll need to be replaced. But again, somebody's got to make that determination. I'm not the person to be doing that, so we reached out to the experts.
Can you forward us that communication that's been
No.
made on behalf
why
of the
not?
project? How are we supposed to respond to that if we don't?
You'll get something eventually, from them. They'll be reaching out to you if they make that determination or want to come test the panels.
So
I'm not in a position to do
Which
that.
department at the federal government did you communicate?
I communicated with the Department of Homeland Security, who are communicating with the EPA, okay?
Is there any way we could, join those conversations? I know you don't want to reveal your contacts, that's 100% understandable.
I will talk to them and see what they want to do.
Yeah,
Okay? I'm giving you probably more than I should anyways.
Well,
But again,
I
it's
think-
it's being looked at right now. And again, if there's nothing to it, that'll come out. And if there's a major problem, that'll come out as well.
I do think
So
the
we gotta
person
wait and see.
the entity who owns the panels, has the lease rights, is looking to get their SUP renewed, and this town should be part of those conversations.
Well, I'll talk to them, see what they
Thank
want to
you.
do. Okay? Thank you very much.
So I guess at this stage, we'll wait for.
What are
some
the next
mis-
action steps that
Well,
we
it sounds
should
like,
expect?
Dawn, Ms. Schroeder, I'm sorry, you have some information to share with us.
Yeah,
Ms.
I can email that over. It's just the item number that was noted on the customs documents, that the items that were imported, went to the Zanshine website and looked up that item number and the information on that exact product that was imported via the customs documents shows that it was manufactured in China. Now, what that means, again, has to do with what all of that, that's a small, tiny portion involved in
But
it.
And again, we're not sitting on our hands here. We're trying to move forward, and we're talking to as many people as we
I don't
need.
think we're accusing you of sitting on your hands. I
Okay,
think
just
we're.
wanna make that clear.
No, what we're looking for is to be part of the research and conversations you're having, because the way we're getting it is we give you something, we come to these meetings, and then we're bombarded with new information that we can't access, or we don't have the right to, as I'm understanding.
This information didn't exist more than a week.
Well, actually, you could
ago.
go on CN Shine's
For the
website
chemical part of it.
and look up that item number on that.
Well, oh, no, I'm sorry, the
Homeland
chemicals,
Security, and they
but
have like
talking to the federal
information
government
sheet on
didn't
that,
exist
and on that
2 weeks ago.
Excuse me, can we have one
Success
person speak at a time? Because I'm having trouble hearing
Okay.
what everyone's saying. I'm sorry, I want to be able to follow the conversation.
Certainly. Go ahead, Dawn.
We'll look at ZN Shine. I'm following you, Don.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we'll
We'll follow
I got an
up
email.
with DEC on what communication they have regarding the testing, and we'll look for an email from Dawn on.
Well, actually, you can go on the website yourself. It was just very easy for me to
We'll
go
take
on
care of
CN
it. I don't think
Shine's
we're getting
website with the
Okay,
item number.
and then I guess we have to wait for whatever that response is in order to come back to a work session? Is that the next steps? I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I'm
get a
sure.
timeframe.
Yeah. all right.
I think it's a little more flexible than that. but
Yeah, we're getting, we'll get back to you when we hear more information, or they'll come out and talk to you. It's
Okay.
one way or the other, okay?
All right.
Okay,
Thank you very
for your
much.
time.
Have a good night.
You got me at 7:05.
Okay, all right. Okay, at this point in time, we're going to take a break before the meeting at 7 o'clock. So we'll be back at 7 o'clock. Do we get time to go through the resolutions? We'll go through the resolutions. Okay, first resolution is mine, from the minutes of the regular meeting of the town board held on May 4th. Second one is approve the audited claims. Third one, Councilmember Studley.
Acknowledge issuance of building permits.
Okay, Councilmember Schroeder, number 4.
As John was saying, the Academy of Finance from the high school, giving them permission to use the band shell.
Councilmember Studley, 5, 6, 7. And do you want to take 8 as well, or who's taking Mark Burkhart's stuff?
I can take Mark's.
Okay, so 5, 6, 7?
These are all authorizing special use permits one is for gunsmithing and sales, one is for a CPA home office, and another one is for Delta Sonic.
Okay, Councilmember Anacola, number 8.
8 is an award quote for the pavement road repair and work to be done.
Okay, number 9, 10, and 11, Councilmember Studley.
These are setting public hearings for, 2 of them are for special events, one for Summerfield Farms, one is for the Bob Giza Memorial 10K race, and the last one is the public hearing for a special use permit for Pizza King.
Okay, number 12 is set a public hearing, special use permit for Hurdy Brews Tire on Walton Avenue. Number 13, approve site plan United Rentals. Number 14, waive conflict of interest, Lippius Mathias representation. Number 15 is appoint Youth Bureau part-time temporary seasonal employees. Number 16 is approve the purchase of a Clark stand-on-floor scrubber for the gun range. Number 17 is set public hearing for rezone 351 Pavement Road. Number 18, approve stipend for Cindy Majewski for the work on the grant writing duties and research. Number 19, Councilmember Schroeder.
It's accepting a grant award from the United States Tennis Association for our youth program.
And number 20, Councilmember Studley.
This is to authorize a special use permit for Frank's Grill.
And Councilmember Anacola, 21.
It's the confirmation of the membership for the roster of Twin District Volunteer Fire Hall.
Okay, 22 is appoint Parks Rec and Forestry part-time seasonal employees. And number 23, Councilmember Schroeder.
Approving a contract and purchase and installation for the carbon vinyl flooring in the courthouse.
Okay, and we have one suspended resolution, which is basically where the town, for our motel tax, has to have a State of New York authorize the enactment of a local law. We got to pass this particular resolution so that can move forward in the State Assembly. So we're going to take a little break here, be back in 4 minutes to start up the 7 o'clock meeting. Thank you.
The live streaming continues.
Finish it back this way. Brad ever asked a question about? No, that's the last question.
Okay, so we're going to move ahead with the, we want to talk about the pre-filed and the suspending resolutions, and then we'll do the public hearings after.
Great. Is there a mailbox for me somewhere, so if I had a mail sent to 21 Central to my attention? When mail comes in, does your office receive it? No, supervisor. Supervisor, okay. So mailbox upstairs?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be receiving things for the events, and so I have them sent here, because I'm going to have them sent there.
Okay, do me a favor, just send me an email. We'll
Yeah.
make sure that, make sure he gets it. Yeah, I got 7 o'clock, I got to start the meeting, so.
Look at me, I'm on time.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Lancaster Town Board meeting for May 18th, 2026. We're going to hang on 1 second till our Town Board members get back and do a roll call. Bear with us. Give it another minute. What's that?
Do you want me to run with it?
He's in the hall talking with Nick.
Talking to who?
Nick.
Okay. Just want to grab him. Okay, tell him it's 7 o'clock.
Like further up.
Yeah.
Can I do this while we're waiting? Should I probably wait? Usual stuff. Doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, for the audience information, we're going to have 23 pre-filed resolutions this evening, 1 suspended resolution, 4 public hearings. Closing tonight, there's nobody listed in there. The suspended resolution has to, as I mentioned before, has to do with the bed tax. The public hearing, establishing a municipal tree law. Second one is establishing an occupancy tax, sorry. The third one is special use permit for Frank's Grill. The fourth one is a special use permit for Chipotle. No executive sessions. Diane, roll call, please.
Councilmember Anapola.
Here.
Councilmember Burkhardt. Councilmember Schroeder. Here. Councilmember Studley.
Here.
Supervisor Leary.
Here. Okay, we're going to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in the name of invocation led by Councilmember Dawn Schroeder.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing.
Well, with the Memorial Day holiday up and coming, I offer this. Let us bow our heads in remembrance. Almighty God, on this upcoming Memorial Day weekend, we pause with deep gratitude to honor the courageous men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country. We remember the heavy cost of our freedom and the families who still bear the weight of their loss. Lord, we ask that you bless all who currently wear the uniform, protecting them as they stand watch over our nation. Guide the leaders gathered here today. Grant them the wisdom, humility, and spirit of unity as they work to serve this community. May the sacrifices of the fallen inspire us to strive for peace, justice, and a better future. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, we're going to start off the meeting this evening with persons who want to address the town board on any pre-filed or suspended resolutions only. That means that 23 pre-filed resolutions are the one suspended resolution. Does anybody want to address the town board on any of those pre-filed or suspended resolutions? Okay. I don't see any hands raised at this point, so we are going to move on from there. Let's see what we got. Okay, we're going to go ahead with the official reports and reports of the town board committees so we don't waste time, and then we'll get into the public hearings, which have to be done after 7:05 p.m. Does anybody have any official reports or reports of town board committees on the board? Melissa, anything?
Oh, I have a lot, but it wouldn't fall under either of these. It should have been under the work session, so I'm going to have to hold it.
Okay. Dawn, you got any?
I will wait till after the...
I think you're it. There's nobody else. I don't have anything. So,
I could do one.
Sure.
The report on the America's 250th. Whereas Memorial Day services in the village of Lancaster will be held by our local VFW at Veterans Park down by Como Lake Lighthouse on Lake Avenue. The service starts at 9 a.m. with the parade to follow. And Depew has a parade that starts at Village Hall at 10:30 with a service at their Veterans Park gazebo at 11 a.m. following that. For America's 250th, I'll be advertising our poster contest for the kids with a deadline of June 26th, so I'll be putting that out on the Town Recreation Facebook page. And then June 24th is the kickoff of our summer concert series at the Oxford Band Show with Boys of Summer. The Senior Center will also be having different events during the concert series, and local 501c3 groups will be selling food, raising money, and so forth. Lastly, July 4th, the town band, the Lancaster Town Band performs down in the heart of the village with their patriotic contest or concert. And lastly, it is highly possible that sometime in August, we'll be holding an event whereas Anne Margaret will be coming to Lancaster to honor our veterans and help raise funds to provide a dog to a disabled veteran. We're currently working on the logistics to try to make this happen.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay, since we don't have any more committee meetings or official reports, we are going to move on. Can I have a motion to open public hearing number 1, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay. Public hearing number 1, establishing a municipal tree law in the town of Lancaster. Legal notice is hereby given that pursuant to a resolution of the town board of the town of Lancaster adopted on May 4th, 2026, a public hearing will be held on the 18th day of May, 2026 at 7:05 p.m. at the town hall right here, 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, to hear all interested persons regarding local law number 3, establishing a municipal tree law. The purpose of this hearing is to provide an opportunity for citizens to express their sentiments, concerns, or views which would benefit citizens of the town of Lancaster. All citizens who wish to be heard are urged to attend this public hearing. Copies of the proposed local law number 3 of the year 2026 will be available at Town of Lancaster's clerk's office for inspection and distribution to any interested persons during business hours. If you have problems, want to come down in a wheelchair, the meeting room is wheelchair accessible. Also getting into the clerk's office to review what you need to. And at that being said, do we have anybody who wants to address the town board or the public today on public hearing number 1? Please raise your hand. Okay, going once, going twice. All right, we have no one who wants to talk about the municipal tree law in the town of Lancaster. Can I have a motion to close public hearing number 1?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, on the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, can I have a motion to open up public hearing number 2?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, on the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, public hearing number 2, which is amending the taxation law of the town of Lancaster to establish an occupancy tax. Legal notice is hereby given that pursuant to a resolution of the town board of the town of Lancaster, adopted on May 4th, 2026, a public hearing will be held on the 18th day of May, 2026, at 7:05 p.m. at the Town Hall, right here at 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, to hear all interested persons regarding local law number 3, amending the taxation law of the town of Lancaster to establish an occupancy tax. The purpose of the hearing is to provide an opportunity for citizens to express their sentiments, concerns, or views which would benefit citizens of the town of Lancaster. All citizens who wish to be heard are urged to attend this public hearing. Copies of the proposed local law number 4 of the year 2026 will be available at the town clerk's office for inspection and distribution to any interested person during business hours, and the clerk's office and the meeting room is wheelchair accessible. Do we have anybody here who wants to talk about public hearing number 2, amending the taxation law of the town of Lancaster to establish an occupancy tax? Please raise your hand. Okay, seeing no hands raised, can I have a motion to close public hearing number 2?
So moved.
In a second?
Second.
Okay, on the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, can I have a motion to open up public hearing number 3?
So moved.
In a second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, public hearing number 3. Notice of public hearing on the application for a special use permit for Frank's Grill, 5820 Broadway, Lancaster, New York. Legal notice is hereby given that pursuant to Chapter 400 zoning, Article 14, 400-78 of the Code of the Town of Lancaster, and resolution adopted by the Town Board on May 4th, 2026, the Town Board will hold a public hearing on May 18th, 2026 at 7:05 p.m. local time at the Town Hall, right here at 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York. For the purpose of this hearing is to consider and approve a special use permit application for Frank's Grill, located at 5820 Broadway. Copies of the application are available for review at Town Hall. The meeting room is wheelchair accessible. Any person requiring special accommodations is requested to contact the town, a little bit by May 18th. All citizens and interested parties will be given a full opportunity to be heard at the aforementioned time and place. Do we have anybody here who wants to talk about this particular permit for Frank's Grill at 5820 Broadway? Please raise your hand. Okay, seeing no hands raised, can I have a motion to close public hearing number 3?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, can I have a motion to open up public hearing number 4?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
On the roll?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, notice of public hearing on application for a special use permit, approval for restaurant with an outdoor dining area and one drive-up service window located at 4839 Transit Road, Lancaster, New York. Legal notice is hereby given that pursuant to the authority set forth in Chapter 400 zoning, Article 14, Administration and Enforcement, Section 400-78, Special Use Permits of the Code of the Town of Lancaster, and pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster on the 4th day of May, 2026, said Town Board will hold a public hearing on the 18th day of May, 2026, at 7:05 p.m. local time, right here at Town Hall, for the purposes of considering and possibly approving a special use permit application for Chipotle restaurant with outdoor dining area and one drive-up service window located at 4839 Transit Road. Copies of the proposed application can be reviewed at Town Hall. Do we have anybody here this evening who wants to talk about public hearing number 4, Chipotle's. Please raise your hand. Yes, sir.
Good evening, members of the town board. Ari Goldberg from the law firm of Barclay Damon. I represent the applicant on this project. Just wanted to give this town board a brief update. During the course of engineering review with this project, Ed and his team identified that an area variance was required with respect to our stormwater, was not strict compliance with 478A1 of the code. That area variance was granted last week by your zoning board of appeals, and then on this Wednesday, we returned to the planning board for their site plan and special use permit recommendation. And then we'll eventually, if the town sees fit, we'll be back here for hopefully a resolution approving the special use permit associated with this project.
Okay, is this restaurant open at this point?
No, sir.
This is the one south, Lincoln.
4839
South.
Trent.
This is
Oh, this
by
is
the
not
side.
the other. Okay, all right.
Like Lowe's.
We wouldn't do that.
God.
I was looking forward to
Wish it
it.
Anything else, sir?
No.
Okay, great. Any questions from the board?
No, I'm just looking
Okay,
forward.
great. Thank you very much. Anybody else want to be heard on this one? Please raise your hand. Okay, seeing no further hands raised, can I have a motion to close public hearing number 4?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
and on the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Great, thank you. We're going to move on to our pre-filed and suspended resolutions at this point.
Did you want to do committee reports?
Oh, I thought we were doing the committee reports before, I'm sorry.
Oh, there wasn't enough, I schools wanted, but I didn't.
Oh, no, go ahead. Any committee reports?
Melissa?
Again, you didn't have any committee reports?
No, I was told last meeting that what I needed to discuss wasn't a committee report, so I will have to wait till a work session.
Okay, so
Okay.
committee reports?
Very quickly, grants, as we had discussed earlier, last week, Nick Swanson received an official letter of award for the splash pad cooling station, and we'll be moving forward with RFPs from there. In addition, last week, we got word that we'll be, well, actually, we actually got a letter today that we received the CBDG funds to update the Kiza pool, $74,684.
Great.
We still have a couple irons in the fire. We're waiting for an award notification from Ag Market, submissions for the dog control building addition. These awards have probably been delayed by budgetary issues, and we're currently working on needed research and writing a grant to enhance our trails, as Carmen was saying, and also the possibility of securing property to house a new salt barn truck wash system. But I did want to reach out and say thank you to Nick, Cindy, Ed, Carmen for your infinite help and help me put these grants together. Teamwork is dream work, and it looks like our efforts are paying off. At least we're recouping some of our taxpayer dollars for projects within our own community, so thank you all.
Thank you.
Lastly was the concert series.
Oh, yep.
Very quickly, our concert series, Tuesdays, the town band performs. Starting in June, our concert series starts on Wednesdays, June 24th, and Depew's concert series starts on Thursdays on June 18th. I do have some advertising stuff that I was going to leave that people can take with them and to remind them about the concerts, little business cards that it's easy to stick in their purse, their wallet, or whatever. That's it. I'm done.
Very good. When do we know about Ann Margaret for sure?
We're assessing the amount it's going to cost. We do have funding for this, so we're hoping within the next couple weeks to find out about Ann Margaret coming to honor our veterans
Excellent.
in Erie County. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, now we're going to move on to our pre-filed resolutions. First one is mine. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of the town board held May 4th, 2026 be and are hereby affirmed. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question, on the roll.
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 2, be it resolved that the following audited claims be and are hereby ordered paid from their respective accounts as per abstract to be filed in the office of the town clerk by the supervisor's office, to wit, check run number 0518-2026, Total amount hereby authorized to be paid, $898,217.86. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 3, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. On Honorable Board, I offer resolution number 3, resolved that the following building permit applications be and are hereby reaffirmed. Now therefore be it resolved that the building permit applications herein coded CSW for conditional sidewalk waiver be and are hereby reaffirmed with a waiver of the town ordinance required for sidewalks. However, the waiver is granted upon the express condition that the town of Lancaster, at any future date, reserves the right to order sidewalk installation at the expense of the property owner. There are 58 total, 17 in the village and 41 in the town.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Schroeder, number 4, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I move resolution number 4. Whereas the Lancaster High School Academy of Finance has requested the use of the Town of Lancaster Youth Bureau band shell and its restroom facilities for their graduation ceremony on Tuesday, June 2nd, 2026, from 3 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And whereas the Town Attorney's Office has prepared a release of liability and assumption of risk waiver outlining the terms and conditions for use, which the Lancaster Central School District is required to execute and submit along with proper proof of insurance prior to the event. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby grants a request to use the town band shell and restroom facilities for the Academy of Finance graduation on June 2nd, 2026, contingent upon the town attorney's receipt and approval of the required waiver and insurance documentation.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 5, 6, and 7, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. And Honorable Board, I offer resolution number 5, whereas the Town Board previously granted a special use permit on June 6, 2016 to Daniel Bedell II for a home occupation at 3976 Walden Avenue, whereas the applicant requested a 2-year renewal of said permit via correspondence dated April 20th, 2026, and whereas the code enforcement officer has recommended approval of this special use permit renewal. Now therefore be it resolved as follows, that pursuant to Chapter 400 zoning, the Town Board does hereby grant the special use permit renewal to Daniel E. Bedell II for a home occupation on premises located at 3976 Walden Avenue upon the terms and conditions as set forth in the zoning ordinance for the period beginning June 6, 2026 and ending June 5th, 2028. And number 2, that the applicant will continue in compliance with conditions as set forth in the special use permits of the Code of the Town of Lancaster and to any additional conditions listed herein, as long as the applicant continues to engage in this home occupation on the premises, namely, and there are 5.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
Number 6, whereas the Town Board previously granted a special use permit on June 16, 2008 to Richard Couch for a home occupation at 60 Michael's Walk, whereas the applicant requested a 2-year renewal of said permit, and whereas the code enforcement officer has recommended approval of this special use permit renewal. Now therefore be it resolved as follows, that the Town Board does hereby grant the special use permit renewal for a home occupation on premises located at 60 Michael's Walk upon the terms and conditions as set forth in the zoning ordinance for the period beginning June 16th, 2026 and ending June 15th, 2028. And number 2, that the applicant will continue in compliance with conditions as set forth in the Code of the Town of Lancaster and to any additional conditions listed herein if the applicant continues to engage in this home occupation on the premises, namely, and there are 4 of the original conditions.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
And number 7, whereas the Town Board previously granted a special use permit on July 2nd, 2018 to James Boglioli on behalf of Delta Sonic Car Wash Systems, Inc. to operate a car wash with 16 gas pumps, interior detailing, and indoor-outdoor vacuums at 4817 Transit Road. And whereas the applicant requested a 2-year renewal of said permit, and whereas code enforcement officer inspected the site and recommended approval, now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to the Code of the Town of Lancaster, the town board does hereby grant the special use permit renewal on behalf of Delta Sonic Car Wash Systems upon the terms and conditions as set forth in the zoning ordinance for the period of July 2nd, 2026 to July 1st, 2028, and that the applicant will continue in compliance with the conditions as set forth in the Code of the Town of Lancaster, and to any additional conditions listed herein if the applicant continues to engage in the occupation listed above on the premises, namely, and there are 3 original conditions.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Anacola, number 8, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I offer this resolution for adoption, whereas in conjunction with an emergency water line replacement by Erie County Water Authority on Pavement Road, the east half of the road requires milling and paving, whereas the town's consulting engineer, Edward Schiller, solicited quotes for necessary repair work, receiving and reviewing the 3 competitive quotes, whereas Mr. Schiller has reviewed the submissions and recommended the award the work to ENR General Contracting, 38th Street, St. David's Drive, in West Seneca for providing the lowest quote in the amount of $71,400. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby awards the request for quotes for pavement road repair work to ENR General Contracting for the amount not to exceed $71,400 in accordance with the specifications on file at the office of WM Shutt and Associates. Be it further resolved that the expense will be paid under project TLN 16 budget line 90233-400, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to execute the contract contingent upon the town attorney's receipt and approval of all required documents and insurance certificates.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 9, 10, and 11, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I offer resolution number 9, whereas an application has been received for a special event permit to hold the Summerfield Farms Neighborhood Block Party, and whereas local law number 5 of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires the town board to conduct a public hearing prior to the issuance of a special event permit for such use. Now therefore be it resolved that a public hearing shall be held before the town board at Town Hall, 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, on June 1st, 2026 at 7:05 p.m. local time for the purpose of hearing all persons interested in said permit application. And be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish the notice of public hearing in the Lancaster Bee and post said notice on the town bulletin board in the form attached hereto and made a part hereof.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
Resolution number 10, whereas an application has been received for a special event permit to hold the 48th annual Bob Giza Memorial 10K race, and whereas local law number 5 of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires the town board to conduct a public hearing prior to issuance of a special event permit for such use, now therefore be it resolved that a public hearing shall be held before the town board at 21 Central Avenue on June 1st, 2026 at 7:05 p.m. for the purpose of hearing all persons interested in said permit application, and be it further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish the notice of public hearing in the Lancaster Bee and post said notice on the town bulletin board in the form attached hereto and made a part hereof.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, with all due respect. In accordance with Chapter 259, I would like to, special event, an event conducted by an individual entity other than the town is in the description kind of thing. I would like to put forth a resolution at the next meeting for the town of Lancaster to sanction the July 4th as a town event, since we partner with the Village of Lancaster, which will allow us to do another resolution that would waive the entrance, or the application fee for the Boys and Girls Club's 10K race.
Okay, and that's in our new rules that you can do
Well,
that?
it's an entity, the town does not have to pay an application fee
Okay.
for any event.
So
So
it's a
that's in Chapter
whole-
259 in definitions. So if we sanction the event as a town event, since we do partner with with the Village of Lancaster for the 4th of July event, if we put forth a resolution at the next meeting to sanction the event, then we can also put forth a resolution to, if it's agreeable to the council people, to waive the application fee for the,
Okay, I have no problem bringing a resolution, and then the board can vote on it at that point.
So it just makes it a town event, so it waives, it makes it.
Correct.
The fee.
yeah.
But does that, but it still would be, my
We'd
only,
have the public hearing, and they'd still have to put through an application, because we need that information for safety purposes. It would just be to help the Boys and Girls Club out to,
It just alleviates the cost of the entry.
correct.
Which
Because the
I'm-
money goes to charity.
which I'm agreeable to, I just want to make sure that it doesn't, if it's a town-sanctioned event, then that the town has control over where it is, or like the town could have any type of.
No, the
like,
July
We can't
4th.
change anything to
No,
a
they're having an
race.
event within the
I
event.
think it still leaves the control of the event to the
To the Boys and Girls Club.
entity that's
We're
running the
just gonna
event. We are
sanction
just
it.
sanctioning.
We're
it.
sanctioning the
Perfect.
July 4th event.
Yes.
And the Boys and Girls Club are having their event within our sanctioned event.
Perfect.
Which makes it,
Part of it, okay? Thank you for explaining that.
Okay,
thank you.
and on the roll.
Councilmember Anacola.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes.
And number 11, whereas it's Gurkrat Singh LLC of Pizza King of Lancaster has submitted an application for special use permit to operate a 48-seat dine-in and takeout pizzeria located at 5813 Broadway in Lancaster. And whereas the code of the town of Lancaster requires a town board to conduct a public hearing prior to issuance of a special use permit for the proposed use, now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to the town zoning code, a public hearing regarding the proposed special use permit for 5813 Broadway will be held at Town Hall, 21 Central Avenue, June 1st at 7:05 PM local time. Be it further resolved that the notice and place of said hearing be published in the official newspaper of general circulation within the town and posted on the town bulletin board, and be it further resolved that a copy of said notice be referred to the Erie County Department of Planning pursuant to Section 239M of the General Municipal Law in the form attached hereto and made a part hereof.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Anacola.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Resolution number 12, whereas Christopher Uglinka submitted an application on behalf of Hurtubise Tire Incorporated for the special use permit of Hurtubise Tire for tire service located at 4465 Walden Avenue in the town of Lancaster, New York. Whereas Chapter 400 zoning, Article 14, administration and enforcement, Section 400-78 special use permits of the code of the town of Lancaster requires that the town board conduct a public hearing before the issuance of a special use permit for a use as proposed. Now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to Section 400-78 of the zoning code of the town of Lancaster, public hearing on the proposed special use permit for the Hurtubise Tire located at 4465 Walden Avenue in the town of Lancaster, New York will be held at Town Hall, right here, 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, on the first day of June 2026 at 7:05 PM local time, and that notice of said time and place of such hearing be published in the official newspaper of general circulation in said town and be posted on the town bulletin board, and that a copy of such notice of hearing be referred to the Erie County Department of Planning pursuant to Section 239M of General Municipal Law, which notice shall be in the form attached hereto and made a part hereof. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Anacola.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Resolution number 13, whereas United Rentals, South Central Industrial Properties, applicant submitted an application for the amended site installation of proposed container shelter and modular office with associated parking spaces, along with the removal of asphalt areas to be replaced with stone and replacement of the existing asphalt driveway, aprons with concrete on approximately 7.34 acre site located at 2 Benzoll Court in the town of Lancaster, prepared by Carmino Wood Design, containing a site plan with numerous drawings, numbers received by the town of Lancaster Building Department on 4/14/26. And whereas the town, acting as lead agency, duly considered the request for the location adjustment of the previously approved project and in conformance with seeker regulations, and this is a type 2 seeker, no further action is needed. And whereas the planning board recommended to the town board on May 6, 2026, the approval of the site plan is submitted and in conformance to town building and zoning codes, and that the town board will approve the site plan with the following conditions. 1, amendment of the private improvement permit issued in October 2025 to reflect the 2025 amendment and these proposed changes. 2, as-built survey will be provided. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby approves the site plan revision submitted for United Rentals, applicant located at 2 Benzoll Court, prepared by Carmino Wood Design. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 14. Whereas Lippy's Mathias LLP has from time to time represented and currently represents the town of Lancaster in a variety of matters and values the town as a client, and whereas Lippy's Mathias LLP has been and is currently engaged by M.J. Peterson Corporation and Windsor Ridge Partners LLC and its affiliated entities to represent them in connection with a land development subdivision, Windsor Ridge subdivision, among other matters in the town of Lancaster, which will involve, among other things, submittal of applications to and negotiations with the town and the town's planning board, and which could potentially result in litigation between town and the noted clients, the matter. And whereas Lippy's Mathias does not possess any confidential information learned from the town concerning the matter, and has represented that it is confident that this representation will not impact its independent professional judgment on any other matter involving the town. And whereas Lippy's Mathias has requested a similar waiver from M.J. Peterson Corporation and Windsor Ridge Partners LLC and its affiliated entities, and they have agreed to waive any conflict as to the matters being forwarded to Lippy's Mathias by the town currently, provided the town has no objection to Lippy's Mathias representing M.J. Peterson Corporation and Windsor Ridge Partners LLC and its affiliated entities before the town, or which may in future be adverse to the town, including potential litigation involving Windsor Ridge subdivision or other land development matters. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby agrees to waive any conflict of Lippy's Mathias LLP as a result of the representation described above. Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 15, whereas by letter dated May 11, 2026, John Trojanowski, Executive Director for the Town of Lancaster Youth Bureau, has recommended the appointment of the following individuals to part-time temporary seasonal positions for the Youth Bureau's Summer Skills Reinforcement and Enrichment Program. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the following individuals are hereby appointed to the following part-time temporary seasonal positions at the Lancaster Youth Bureau for a period not to exceed 5 months. As these are part-time positions, they provide no health insurance, sick days, vacations, or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time temporary employees. And we have 2 tutors, one for art instruction at $19 an hour, and one for reading, reading instructor for $19 an hour. Both effective dates are June 1st, 2026. Be it further resolved that these appointments are contingent upon the successful completion of all pre-employment background checks, the filing of appropriate paperwork with the supervisor's office, attainment of required New York State certifications, and completion of all new hire training programs and town policy acknowledgments. Be it further resolved that the supervisor of the town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Resolution number 16, whereas Detective Lieutenant Sean Dominio of the Town of Lancaster Police Department by letter dated May 11, 2026, has requested the purchase of one new Clark SA40 20BW208 stand-on floor scrubber for use at the police gun range and patrol garage. And whereas said equipment will be purchased through New York State OGS contract number PC69018, awarded to Duval Safety Equipment Incorporated, located at 1721 Niagara Street, Buffalo, New York, which eliminates the need for competitive bidding pursuant to Section 103 of New York State General Municipal Law. And whereas the total cost for the floor scrubber is $9,275.95, with funding available in police gun range budget line 53120.443. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby approves the purchase of the equipment, the floor scrubber, from Duval Safety Incorporated under New York State contract for a total not to exceed $9,275.95, paid for from the police budget. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leach.
Yes. Resolution number 17. Whereas PM Pavement Incorporated submitted an application for the rezoning of 88.13 acres of general industrial with SGA, sand, gravel, and aggregate mining and excavation overlay district located at 351 Pavement Road, with a sketch plan for a 96 single-family home subdivision to be zoned R1 residential district in the Town of Lancaster, New York. And whereas Chapter 400 zoning, Article 14, Administration Enforcement, Section 400-74, amendment procedure of the Code of the Town of Lancaster requires that the Town Board set a date for a public hearing for the purpose of considering the application and cause notice to be given as required by law. Now, therefore, be it resolved that pursuant to Section 400-74 of the zoning code of the Town of Lancaster, a public hearing on the proposed rezoning of 351 Pavement Road from general commercial with a sand, gravel, and aggregate mining and excavation overlay to residential for the purpose of developing a 96-lot subdivision in the Town of Lancaster, New York, will be held at the Town Hall right here, 21 Central Avenue, Lancaster, New York, on the first day of June 2026 at 7:05 p.m. local time, and that notice of said time and place of such hearing be published in the official newspaper of general circulation in said town and be posted on the town bulletin board, and that a copy of such notice of hearing be referred to the Erie County Department of Planning pursuant to Section 239M of the General Municipal Law, which notice shall be in the form attached hereto and made a part hereof. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the
Councilmember Anicola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Resolution number 18. Whereas Cindy Majewski currently serves the Town of Lancaster as a building and zoning clerk in the Attorney's Office overseeing the Planning Department, and whereas the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster recognizes the significant and specialized nature of grant writing as a means to secure alternative funding for town infrastructure programs and services, and whereas Cindy Majewski has assumed additional professional responsibilities of researching, drafting, and submitting municipal grant applications on behalf of the Town of Lancaster, now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby authorizes a stipend in the amount of $2,600 to be paid to Cindy Majewski, distributed in 26 equal installments starting immediately with the next biweekly payroll for the performance of these additional grant writing duties. And be it further resolved that the supervisor of the Town of Lancaster shall be authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, on the question, I just want to say, congratulate Cindy and Dawn for the terrific job they've been doing writing the grants for the Town of Lancaster. We got rid of our other grant writers. Wasn't real successful with what they were doing before, but just in the short period of time that these two have been concentrating on this, with some help from Nick and a couple of people in my office, they've done a tremendous job. They brought in approximately $449,684, and with, how much do we still have pending when it comes to the grants?
Oh, goodness, do you want to go into the 10.5 million?
Well, if you could throw a couple numbers, that would be great. They are still working on a whole bunch of stuff right now, trying to bring tax dollars back to the Town of Lancaster. So we appreciate everything Cindy has done, appreciate everything Dawn has done. By the way, Dawn didn't, I asked that this Cindy be given this stipend, and Dawn didn't want a stipend for all the additional work she's doing. So Cindy's a full-time employee, so that's why I asked for this. So again, way above and beyond what she's supposed to be doing in her role. And on the roll.
Councilmember Anacola.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Resolution number 19, Councilmember Schroeder, please.
Oh, I just flipped it over. Sorry. Excuse me.
Did we
Thank you,
skip?
Mr. Supervisor. I move resolution number 19. Whereas the town of Lancaster applied for a grant from the United States Tennis Association to secure supplemental funding for the 2026 youth and adult tennis programs, and whereas the town of Lancaster has been awarded the grant in the amount of $2,500 from the USTA, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Lancaster hereby officially accepts the $2,500 grant from the USTA, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute any and all necessary documents, agreements, and contracts required to secure and receive those grant funds.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Anacola.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Councilmember Studley, number 20, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. On honorable board, I offer resolution number 20, whereas the town board held a public hearing on May 18th, 2026, regarding the application of Ben and Allie Kestner of Frank's Grill for a special use permit to operate a restaurant and bar on the premises located at 5820 Broadway. Whereas persons for and against such special use permit have had an opportunity to be heard, and whereas the town board acting as lead agency under the State Environmental Quality Review Act have determined this action constitutes a type 2 action, and whereas the code enforcement officer has reviewed the application and recommended issuance of this special use permit. Now therefore be it resolved as follows, that pursuant to the Code of Town of Lancaster, the town board hereby grants a special use permit to Frank's Grill to operate a restaurant and bar on the premises located at 5820 Broadway upon the conditions as set forth in the zoning ordinance for a 2-year period beginning May 18th, 2026 and ending May 17th, 2028. And that the application shall maintain continuous compliance with the Code of the Town of Lancaster alongside the following additional conditions for the duration of the authorized operations on the premises. And there are 4 different conditions.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Anacola.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Councilmember Anacola, number 21, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor and Honorable Board. I offer the following resolution, whereas the Twin District Fire Company, by letter received May 14, 2026, has requested the addition of the following members to the roster of said fire association. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby confirms the addition to the membership of the Twin District Volunteer Fire Company the following individual: Brian Fisher. The question of the adoption foregoing was duly put to vote on roll call.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. On the question? On the roll.
Councilmember Anacola.
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder.
Yes.
Councilmember Studley.
Yes.
Supervisor Leary.
Yes. Resolution number 22. Whereas Carmen Ciccarelli, Maintenance Crew Chief for the Town of Lancaster, by letter dated May 13, 2026, has recommended the appointment of the following individuals to the position of part-time temporary seasonal in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department for the spring-summer season of 2026. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board hereby appoints the following individuals to part-time temporary seasonal positions in the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department for a duration not to exceed 5 months. And we have, they're all laborers, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 laborers, all at $19 an hour, and they'll start May 18th, June 15th, June 1st, and May 19th. Be it further resolved that these positions are part-time and carry no health insurance, no sick leave, no vacations or other fringe benefits not specifically mandated for part-time temporary employees, and be it further resolved that these appointments are contingent upon the successful completion of all pre-employment checks and appropriate paperwork filed with the Supervisor's Office, New York State required certifications, new hire training programs, and completion of town policy acknowledgements, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to take all necessary action to implement the foregoing. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. Councilmember Schroeder, number 23, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I move resolution number 23. Whereas Carmen Ciccarelli, Parks Crew Chief for the Town of Lancaster, by letter dated May 12, 2026, has requested the purchase and installation of new carpet and vinyl flooring throughout the Lancaster Courts building. And whereas in accordance with the town's procurement policy, a request for proposals was distributed to 3 vendors, with the Carpet Collection, Inc. submitting the sole responsive quote. And whereas Carmen Ciccarelli has reviewed the submission and recommends awarding the contract to Carpet Collection, located in Lockport, New York, for a total project cost of $30,355.35. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Lancaster hereby awards the contract for purchase and installation of new carpet and vinyl flooring throughout the Lancaster Courts building to the Carpet Collection in an amount not to exceed $30,355.35. And be it further resolved that this expenditure shall be funded from the Buildings and Grounds budget line item, capital outlay, utilizing funds allocated from the Justice Courts Assistance Program, grant and insurance reimbursement proceeds. And be it further resolved that the town supervisors hereby authorized to execute the contract contingent upon the town attorney's receipt and approval of all required documents and insurance certificates.
Do we have a second?
Second.
On the question? On the roll?
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. At this point in time, I am requesting a suspension of the necessary rules for immediate consideration of the following resolution. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
That was kind of a tie.
Give it to Tom.
Okay. As seconded by Councilmember, do I have a second?
Second, ma'am.
Okay. It was put to a vote. The following resolution was, I'm sorry, on the roll call. Yes, on the roll, sorry.
It's okay. Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes.
Franchise was granted.
Thank you. I don't want to take your lines. Okay, the following resolution, whereas the town of Lancaster respects and appreciates the hotel and motel operations situated within town boundaries, and whereas the town of Lancaster seeks to raise revenue relative to the use and occupancy of these operations for the benefit of the residents of the town, now therefore be it resolved that the town of Lancaster hereby requests that the state of New York authorize the enactment of a local law pursuant to New York State Assembly Bill number A.8776-A/S.8269, A, authorizing a bed or occupancy tax to be collected in an amount not to exceed 3% pursuant to the terms of said authorization and said local law. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question, this has to be done for our bed tax to be put into place. So the Assembly, through Patrick Kladzinski's office, is pushing this through the Assembly for us. And it's got to be done in a very timely manner, and we're trying to make that timeline right now. And on the roll.
Councilmember Anacola?
Yes.
Councilmember Schroeder?
Yes.
Councilmember Studley?
Yes.
Supervisor Leary?
Yes. That concludes our pre-filed and suspended resolutions.
Mr. Supervisor, if I can interrupt you for 1 second. I think Resolution 17 needs an amendment. Mr. Fiscione pointed out that it's with regard to a rezoning request, and it references the R1 zoning. And my understanding is now it's just the R zoning. It's a minor typographical error, so you can amend it. Is that it, Matt? It's the R zoning district, not R1?
I can just
Yeah, just
as a typo.
Yeah, as a typo, just to make sure that the legal notice as well references just R.
Okay.
It's not R1.
Okay, so it's just in the one spot on there too, right?
Correct.
It's correct in the be resolved, so.
And then the next page has the legal notice.
17.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Matt.
I'm not going to be able to correct the legal.
Did it already go out?
It has to go out like 10 days before.
I'll talk to Jennifer, I think it's fine.
Okay, I mean, I can correct it on the
very minor.
website, I can
Yeah.
correct it on what's posted in the.
There's no other, I mean, it's R, not R1, but there's no other Rs.
Okay, okay,
But I'll talk to Jennifer, but I think it's okay.
thank you.
You ready? Okay, we're going to move on to the presentation of communications by town clerk. Okay, number 273, 274, 275, and 276, received and filed. 277, town attorney. 278 was a resolution tonight. 279, received and filed. 280 was a resolution tonight. 281 was a resolution tonight. 282, 283 were received and filed. 284 was a resolution tonight. 285, public hearing on 6/1. 286, received and filed. 287, public hearing on 6/1. 288, public hearing 5/18. 289, public hearing and suspended resolution tonight. 290, received and filed. 291, received and filed. 292, code enforcement and town attorney. 293, same code enforcement, town attorney. 294, received and filed. 295, resolution tonight. 296, received and filed, as is 297. 298, resolution tonight. 299, received and filed. 300, town attorney. 301, received and filed. 302, resolution tonight. 303, resolution tonight. 304, code enforcement, town attorney. 305, received and filed. 306, resolution tonight, as is 307, and 308 was received and filed. We've come to the point in the town board meeting where individuals who want to address the town board on any subject matter may do so. The town board will hear the concerns of persons desiring to address the town board on any town of Lancaster subject for a total period of 30 minutes. Please raise your hand, be recognized by the supervisor, give your name and address to the town clerk, speak directly to the town board members, not the audience, using the microphone provided. Speak once for 5 minutes or less unless the town board grants a speaker an extension of this time limit, and any unruly activity will result in expulsion from the meeting. So do we have anybody who wants to talk to the town board? Feel free to step up here and do so. And give your name and address to the town clerk.
My name is Anthony Lazaro, for Jamie Lazaro, Lazaro Trucking on 69 Cemetery Road, where the property is commercial property, and there's a mistake somewhere along the way. It's been labeled as agricultural farmland with the residents, and it is not. And the taxes have been paid for commercial everywhere on this town. It is commercial, but there's a hang-up somewhere. Do you know where this is?
No, after all research, documentation, everything that was found, it seems only the zoning map is showing agricultural residential, but all their documentation is for commercial. And it has caused, it's been going on for over 2 years, and it has cost with everything. He's lost over about $25,000, $30,000 in jobs because of this. And we're looking to see if, because we don't know, it just seems very suspicious and odd as to where this agricultural residential is coming from when everything documented throughout the town of Lancaster, you know, taxes, everything is all commercial. And we're looking to hopefully resolve this with if it can just be zoned back to the commercial, and we will get the special use permit for him to store, you know, if he needs stone for jobs or anything like that, and be able to run his business as, you know, he was meant to do without having any cost to us, just have it, you know, changed back because there's some mistake somewhere.
We don't know
And
when
it's
it,
cost.
where it was changed, or when it was changed.
We were never advised as to where, even an attorney was never able to find out when it was rezoned. There were still questions everywhere as to this issue.
Okay. Matt, comments?
Well, there's some significant history with the property and the enforcement actions. I could say tonight clearly that the adoption of the zoning code in 2020 and the zoning map in 2020 as well labeled the vacant property as agricultural residential. I'm looking as we speak now on the 2019 zoning map. that suggests it may have been a commercial and motor service area, but the zoning map did not identify parcel outlines. Regardless of the zoning changes, which was done through exhaustive measures starting in 2017 with the adoption of the comprehensive plan, 2018, my apologies. And it took the 2 years following to adopt updated zoning and updated zoning mapping to identify it as an AR district. The site has been developed over time. It was a vacant piece of land developed, and it's currently, it looks to be a contractor's yard. There's an electrical outfit that's utilizing that area as a yard area, drop-off area, you name it what you like to name it. Regardless, it was developed without site plan approval. There was some filling actions, and again, it's just a history of enforcement actions that led us to where we are today.
Okay. Brad, do you see anything wrong with the zoning changes? Have you had a chance to look through what occurred?
No, I haven't. But I don't see anything wrong, but I think there's really two issues here. One is the taxation issue and how the property's being taxed, but then there's the zoning issue, and that wouldn't necessarily mean that then you get some sort of as-of-right rezone. I mean, it is two separate issues. The zoning is a land use and planning item, and the taxation is a separate matter. I realize that they're sort of intersecting, but I'm not aware of anything that some sort of taxation would result in some sort of as-of-right rezoning. I think it would still need to go through the traditional zoning rezoning process.
What's the issue with the taxation?
Well, just is it being taxed how the property is used versus how it's zoned? You know, the allegation that maybe it was taxed improperly. I don't know, but just from a pure zoning perspective, I think you have to follow the rezoning process. Matt, I don't know if you disagree with that, and if you do.
Rezoning with a site plan review would be appropriate. Trying to overlay the maps on top of the existing tax parcels. I mean, the 2019 maps are record. We have those documents identifying where that commercial and motor service area is with respect to existing streamways and other land environmental qualities. I still believe that the vacant parcel was outside of that commercial motor service, but I'm not going to get into the specifics of that tonight. We'll have to do some scaling and identifying of where the parameters of the previous zoning district was with relation to the existing properties.
Okay. So again, you're claiming that the taxation is wrong because what is it being taxed at right now? As
No, it was
residential?
purchased as commercial, it's always been, and he's been paying commercial taxes all along.
And not residential taxes?
Correct, because we never knew it was changed. He was just going along using the property, it was for commercial purposes, and then.
So when you purchased the property, it was purchased,
Yes, it was commercial property.
and that's what it was
Commercial
zoned?
property, that's
When
what
did
it
you
was zoned
purchase that?
When was that, Jim? It was,
I say 2016,
yeah, the
2017,
teens.
right around there.
Yeah, in the early teens. It
Oh,
was.
so you're saying that when you purchased it, it was commercial,
They bought
and then
commercial
sometime
property,
after
and since-
purchasing the property, it was
Even in the
somehow
courts, the
changed?
town prosecutor even said that whole area's been commercial since the 1800s.
Was this one parcel or several parcels that you purchased?
What we're talking here is between the fire hall and 69 Cemetery Road. There's a field there, and it kind of L-shapes. That's what we're talking, is that empty field.
Right, but when you purchased the parcel, you just purchased that?
Yep.
Did you own any other parcels
I
prior
own
to
69
that?
Cemetery Road now.
Okay, so next to it?
Yep.
Kind of thing?
And behind the cell tower.
And behind the cell tower also.
That's all in the information that I passed out maybe like a month and a half ago when I spoke about it at a work session. So you guys should have the mapping of that and everything with the indicated of lot number 1 is this is theirs, and this one is theirs as well. That's all in the information that I provided.
I was just asking when they purchased it.
No, I'm just trying to figure out when they
Yeah.
purchased it, not what it's,
Right,
what
when
it
they
was
purchased
zoned
it.
when it was purchased, and then
Yes.
somehow how it got changed underneath them after
Right.
purchasing it. If it was all zoned one way and then all of a sudden it changed, that's.
Right, but if there was a site plan application, as Matt, we would
So
have found
somebody
out
would have
then.
had to
Right.
submit a site plan application to change the,
No, not
Well-
for the zoning, just for the use.
Just
If it's
for
a
the
vacant piece of property and then it's
Oh.
gonna be used in any way, a site plan would be
Would have had to
presented
been
to tell the
submitted.
town, this is how I intend to use it. And
So-
then that's when you would have identified what the zoning was
and there was
what
no
it-
site plan submitted, is
That's my understanding.
well, then there's the issue. Site plan needs to be submitted.
Correct, yeah, because we thought it was commercial, not agricultural residential. We still don't, we still do not know when it was changed. Nobody can give us those answers.
Okay, well, I think Matt already addressed that when it was changed into zoning.
December 2020, the zoning map and the zoning code was adopted in response to the comprehensive plan update.
Right, so it was updated 2020. I think Brad's right, and there's two different questions here. Are you being taxed at what you should be being taxed at? So again, we can talk to the assessor's office. Have you talked to the assessor's office yet?
I did,
What did they
and
say?
they show it as commercial.
That could be what it's registered for, but I think the issue, at least from the way I understand it, is that regardless of how it was zoned, there was never a site application submitted.
Right.
And that would
And
have,
they're-
so that's the issue there.
So they're operating-
So however you submitted your taxes is kind of irrelevant because you never submitted a site plan asking to use that particular parcel in that manner. So whether you purchased it commercial or residential, you still have to submit a site plan based on what you want to do, is my understanding, unless I'm incorrect.
But yeah, you can't buy vacant land and just, even if it's a permitted use, you can't just start using it, you have to.
So that part of the process was
proposal.
skipped. There needed to be a site plan that isn't on file.
But I'm not sure, and the assessor would know, are the taxes in accordance with the use of the property or the underlying zoning? Because it is being used commercially. So if it's being taxed commercially, because it's being used commercially, that's what I mean. And then you even need to get to the zoning. It's being used commercially, it's taxed commercially. Separately, you have the zoning issue.
Right.
But I don't know, and that will be for the assessor, is the taxation strictly aligned to the zoning or the use?
So we can ask the assessor how they're doing it and let you know on that. But the other part of it, I mean, again, I would think, as people said, you got to apply for rezoning the property. I don't see any other way around it, so.
If
like
we were to
everybody else.
go about that, because I have the application, it's quite extensive. If we were to go that way to settle this, could we do this at no charge because of this issue that's been going on? We have
2 years.
had no clue in the loss of
See, again, you
revenue?
say there's a problem, but again, it sounds like it was rezoned in 2020.
Weren't we supposed to be notified, though? Somehow? We had no idea until,
The process
We
of
got
that
this first
zoning adoption had gone through all the appropriate protocols, through referrals and public hearings. It was pretty exhaustive, but as I'm looking at this 2019 zoning map, I'm still of the understanding that vacant parcel was always in the agricultural residential district.
To begin with.
Whether it was being taxed or assessed as an industrial property is even irrelevant as it's being shown today, because the area that's of contention was identified as a commercial and motor service district, which basically permitted automotive uses and doctor's offices and things of that nature. So, again, looking at the mapping, which is overlaid on top of a tax map, I firmly believe that vacant land was always agricultural residential, and it may have been assessed inappropriately.
There's a tool in the zoning code for non-conforming uses. So that situation is when, sort of what you're describing, if it's a valid use. But if it's a situation where you're using property a certain way, it has to be a legal use. But if you're using property a certain way and the zoning changes from underneath you, it doesn't mean everything you're doing has to cease, because it happens a lot, zoning changes. However, it will come back to, was it a valid use at the time? So there's potential that it could be deemed a legal non-conforming use, but again, that's a technical analysis, and it would come back to, was it being used properly at the time? Unfortunately, I don't know, but the code does have a mechanism for that, because zoning does change from time to time. If you're operating a restaurant and you have all this money in a restaurant, the zoning changes to a zoning classification that doesn't allow restaurants, it doesn't mean you have to tear your restaurant down. It does limit what you can do, and you can't expand it, but there are protections for legal non-conforming uses, but it will come down to timing as to when was it being used, was it a valid use, things like was a site plan permitted, there are mechanisms for that.
But it was
Urge you to look into that.
developed without a permit.
Right,
That's a problem.
The board approval, sure.
So it never got approved. Okay.
But what was developed behind the cell tower was always, trucks, trailers, always, there was another utility company
Yeah.
before this current utility company that rented there, and it's always been there.
Which we had to show proof for
Which
the
we showed
courts,
proof.
which we did have proof. We had receipts showing that there was a rental agreement. There was also another company back there. Amazon was back there for a little
Yeah.
while. Now this company, the only part that in the very front by the road, all that he's trying to do is just like bulldoze the land there, and he was gonna put a nice berm up there with some trees to make it nice. That's all he was doing in that front yard, and that's
Keep in
how
mind,
the first.
keep in mind, I know, listen, no, please, keep in mind, it's not that I was bringing in dirt.
Yeah, it
and
wasn't-
and
dirt
wasn't
was
none of
brought
that.
in.
When I bought this property, and it was commercial property that I bought this property, and there was these big trees, and they would lean over the fire hall, and when the wind would blow, you could hear the trees squeaking and creaking. And I had a company cut the trees down, grind it up, and it was just uneven. Other property owners just let people dump there, and it was uneven, and it looked terrible. So all I did was started to level it out, and I was gonna make a mild berm and just make it nice, so I could just ride a mower up it and down it. That's all I was looking to do. But now it looks like garbage, the way it is now.
So I'd say, at this point, you guys are way over your 5 minutes for talking at this point. I think the attorney will take a look at what he can. Matt will take a look at what he can, get back to Councilmember Studley. If you want to, communicate through her, that's fine, but make some recommendations on this and go from there. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else want to address the town board on any matter? Okay. All right, well, thank you very much, everybody, for coming. Can I have a motion to close the town board meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And on the roll.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
I was derelict in my bell duties.
What's the score? Yeah, you're supposed to be in charge of
Maybe.
Got a score?
No.
Oh.
Who's up?